Welcome everyone to the What's Left podcast. John here with Jake and Brad. We are the punk rock garage band of podcasts, adding your voice resistance as loud as we can here on the Derealization Nation Media Network. Guys, it's Sunday. We got a lot of fun stuff going on today. We're going to get to some conspiracy theories. We're going to get to some news stuff. But before we do, please make sure you like and subscribe. Push this video out to the algorithm. We really thank you guys for being a part of this thing and really helping us grow. We've seen a lot of growth, especially on YouTube lately, and that's all thanks to you guys. You can also follow us on TikTok while it lasts until that's gone. TikTok, Instagram, Threads, we're on all of those. And also you can subscribe on Substack for free. Or if you're feeling generous, you can give us a paid subscription too. That's always helps out. But let's get into this a little bit, guys. Let's start with what's going on with the ceasefire in Israel. Trump says the war is over. Obviously, it is not. Uh, Especially since what Israel is saying is that the second they get the hostages back, they're going back in for the tunnels. That's their stated game plan. So obviously, this ceasefire is not going to last very long. So I hope and pray that I'm wrong, but this feels like an opportunity for a false flag event. But since they seem so bold and brazen, maybe they don't even need it. Maybe they just go straight in and just do whatever they want because it really doesn't seem like there's been any kind of restriction on these guys, let alone talk of punishment. Kushner and them all got together to praise Israel. Netanyahu's name got booed by people in Israel. You know, obviously they don't see him as part of the peace, but people are still giving Trump a lot of credit for the peace, whether he deserves it or not. But honestly, this whole thing feels manufactured, and I feel like they just once they get these hostages back, I don't see I feel like they're just going to double back down and keep murdering people. Um, let's get you guys' thoughts there real quick before I go on with some more of the stuff. But I don't know, does anyone actually trust Israel?
Definitely not. I also don't understand how we can be a broker of peace while still funding their war machine.
Yeah.
Like I don't. They still have universal health care. They still have free higher education. They still have free higher education, and it's all because we are able to keep funding their war machine because
Hmm.
it boosts our economy or whatever. So if we're not saying we will also stop our funding to Israel, then we're not really planning on any sort of peace deal or ceasefire or anything like that. Because very simply, if we stop giving them money, they cannot afford to continue to do what they're doing. Like that's just all there is to it. Like somewhere something has to change. So whether it be healthcare for their own citizens, or it be the war machine that they have, or the Iron Dome, or whatever it is, those things are made possible because of contributions from the United States. So if we're
Yes.
going to say that our president brokered a peace deal, if that peace deal doesn't involve us not funding them, then the continuation for war is still right in our face, courtesy of the red, white, and blue.
Yeah. Generously provided by contributions from viewers like you. Like that's where our taxpayer dollars are going to. And I don't think across the board this thing is ridiculous to just about everybody funding a genocide. Jake, any hope at all that this is the end of violence in the Middle East?
No, I just
No.
don't get.
Yeah, it's just zero.
Hmm.
Uh, Kushner, Trump, all these guys, they see this as a real estate deal. They've likened it to a real estate deal. And so as far as this part of the second part of the peace plan goes, they have began to talk to uh, different parts of the Palestinians, but the Palestinian people in general, obviously do not trust Tony Blair with good reason. But the Palestinian Authority has given him the nod for his role in post-war Gaza. And just for fun, Sundays we like a good conspiracy theory. New email leaks. Prince Andrew sliding into Jeffrey Epstein's DMs. Uh, was talking about we're in this together after the photo of him and and Virginia Giuffre leaked, and the the dude, the ambassador from London, in one of his emails, it turns out he introduced Tony Blair to Jeffrey Epstein. So Tony Blair also connected to Epstein. This guy's like fucking. You can't get like 7 degrees of pedophile uh, in the U.S. government and in government in general. This whole thing is just nuts. But Tony Blair also connected to Epstein and now connected to Palestinian peace talks.
Any of the developed countries, if you are a high-ranking member of politics, you got in there because somewhere along the way, a bunch of money was fed to you, whether you grew up with a bunch of money or you obtained a bunch of money through whatever means you might have done it. But like these like movers and shakers, I guess is what you want to say. Like all of these people had the ability to be tied into Jeffrey Epstein. In any civilized country, if you have political leaders who have obtained wealth like this, or their family has had wealth for years or whatever it might be, they are very likely tied to at least some degree of what is going on with the Jeffrey Epstein thing, whether it be a lower level, like a almost like mid level marketing where Jeffrey's at the top and then this guy's to this guy and this guy's to this guy type of thing. Like everyone in a civilized country that's tied into politics could absolutely be tied into this. There's no one that I would like mark safe from the potential to be in here.
Yeah, it's kind of just the thread that ties all of our politics together. Um, and it's crazy because it's been conspiracy theory and kind of this right wing insistence on making it into a partisan attack kind of discredited a lot of what this real suffering is. One other thing I got to mention about Israel, though, is another ceasefire that they are in the midst of with Lebanon. They have been violating all day. And in the midst of that violation, they murdered another Palestinian journalist. Um, this young man was one of the best orders. You see a lot of videos of him entertaining and holding children in Gaza. Um, just a all around good person and a journalist. And just as a reminder, Israel killed more journalists in that war than in any other war combined. And calling it a war is egregious in that genocidal, maniacal, just the act of absolute maniacs. Uh, they murdered more journalists than any war ever did. And that's fucking crazy. I don't think we'll ever see I don't know when we'll see the end of this, but it's not going to be in the near future, that's for sure. Don't say it. All right. So from tragedy in the Middle East to tragedy here at home, ICE has been doing their thing to cause trouble. Chicago seems to be the flashpoint for more clashes. Portland remains completely unserious and full of more and more blow up dolls by the day. And good for them because I think it takes a little bit of everything. But most of the outrageous action is happening in Chicago right now. And this one is particularly worrying to me for several reasons. But this is a video of ICE dragging a 15-year-old girl out of her car and slamming her to the ground.
I can't hear people. It's all back there.
It's fucking crazy. First of all, the GOP track record with teenage girls is sketchy at best. A lot of the enough of the January Sixers were reoffending sex predators to know that there's plenty of sex offenders within this ICE community as well. So on top of this just being egregious, dragging her out of the car. This example in particular I wanted to highlight because imagine like this is your daughter. Do you want a bunch of grown men tackling her, handcuffing her, throwing her in the back of a police car, terrorizing her? Like, what kind of fuck is this the fucking world that MAGA wants to live in? Like,
It actually is, bro. It
Yes.
actually 100% is the world that they want to live in. They are excited about this shit. That's what I've learned. Like they don't care. They actually want authoritarianism. Like
yeah,
that's what they want. That's what they want. They don't understand that if the shoe was on the other foot or if the roles were reversed, they'd be absolutely losing their minds. But right now they see it like this and they are thrilled about it. I'm telling you, if you ask the true MAGA folk, they are thrilled about what's happening. When people say this is what I voted for, under videos of little kids being like zip tied or little girls getting thrown to the ground or shit like that, and you see the comment of this is what I voted for, I swear to fucking God they're serious. I swear to God that they are serious, bro. That's exactly what they voted for.
That's fucking sick. What do you think it is, Jake? That just like, what's the disconnect? Why can't people empathize with people? Is it just, are they really just, are we just that racist? Are we that, is it just, is it that base? Is it
You
that
mean
basic?
like the
Yeah,
MAGA people not being able to empathize?
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. So because there's plenty of people out there, like not just MAGA. There's people out there right now who are like, well, you got to do what you got to do too. You know what I mean? So it's not it's not the number should be zero.
You can tie that down to privilege because they
Privilege.
do not have that fear of that happening to them or their loved ones because they think that this America is their God-given right and
Hmm.
anybody else, it is not.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's what I would tie it down to. Anyone who's sitting comfortably and being like, yeah, this is what I want to happen, that's privilege.
Yeah.
You want that privilege and you're afraid of anybody trying to take your privilege or having even equal rights to you, which is not what America was made for.
Right. No, not at all, man. It's really, it's really not what the whole like planet is made for, really. Like it just, I don't know, but it doesn't, if you don't believe in any of that, like you should still understand that, like, if you give up your rights of other people, like, you're gonna eventually give up your own rights. Like, it's like you're just giving them more power.
Yeah, but
And
it doesn't affect them.
they
They don't
understand.
see that. That has to be like in their face, like face value. It's the same thing like with the Epstein files. They still don't believe that Trump's on there. Like there is so much stuff like photo evidence and signatures and everything, and they're still just like, no.
We don't even need the files to know how much Trump is in there. Like, we
Right.
have so much on Trump already. Like, he should be he should be being questioned. Like, at very least, he should have been subpoenaed by now. Which is absurd. But they understand it very well when Joe Biden was in office.
Yes.
They understood what Alex Jones tells them. They understand perfectly well what it is, like what government surveillance and fucking government overreach. They get it very well when it's all for you. But what it happens to be, one of their guys in press, they're just like, take it, daddy, take it all, and they
Mhm.
literally call the man daddy.
Yeah. They think daddy's gonna take care of them from now on.
What a lazy bunch of pieces of shit! You're gonna let your dad take care of you for the rest of your life? Fucking grow up. Party of fucking personal responsibility, my nutsack. Bunch of fucking pussies is what they are.
Here's
Oh,
the thing, because I think it's like way bigger than all of that. I think that we have a large population that is undereducated. I'm not going to call them stupid. I'm just going to say that they are undereducated.
that's kind.
All right. Well, one thing's for certain is that for their 13 years of public school, they have stood up every morning and said the pledge of allegiance to the flag. Every single morning for 13 years. They didn't fucking miss a day, brother. And every single sporting event you watch, they stand up and they do the national anthem. And then you're taught in school that we are the back to back World War champs. We are absolutely not to be fucked with. And if you are an enemy of the states, you will be dealt with. So,
It's the American
what
way.
Donald Trump and this administration has done has terrified these people, literally fucking terrified them of brown people, bro. They are terrified that these brown people are going to destroy the America that they've like the badass World War II, the champions of war, dude, the most badass country in the world, that these fucking brown people are coming to take it. And they are literally to the point that they have been manipulated through. I mean, even Donald Trump alone is a literal decade of propaganda from Donald Trump is what we've seen now, 2015 to now of him running for president. They just been fed a decade of propaganda and they're brainwashed. And it is hard to deprogram someone from that. Like these people really think that they're defending the country from these fucking terrorists. Mind you, they are letting Qataris fly planes over U.S. airspace. But that has nothing to do with Muslims or they forget entirely about that. But I'm telling you, because Donald Trump is like saving them from the invasion. this is really how they feel, bro. They really think that Donald Trump is saving them because the America that they know would never let an invader come here.
Yeah. We
It's
mix our two together, we got some shit stew right there. That's
yeah, it's like you mix that together, you end up with Donald Trump.
yeah.
That's so crazy because I didn't tell Brad doesn't know what my feature for later is, but it's gonna tie in beautifully to that. So we're gonna leave that conference, put a pin in that. We'll come back to that. I want to
Circle back.
share. Yeah, we'll circle back. I want to share another video, and this kind of speaks to when they finally come for you. And just a reminder, like I don't know, a couple of things I think come out of this for me. But this is also in Chicago. ICE blocked this Catholic church. This Catholic church, they come down, they walk from their church to the facility. You see the troopers blocking the way. And he turns them away. Now they come in their full priestly robes with all the ornaments and hair pieces and whatever other religious accoutrement that they could possibly bring. And they are there to bless these detainees, right? And they are not allowed in. Now, I posted this on Threads earlier today, and the response was intense. People resonated with this. People who don't usually interact like new people interacting with this post, because religious freedom also resonates with that MAGA base. And now MAGA is evangelical mostly, and Protestant, and does not consider the Catholic Church uh, a family member. They don't count. And the Catholics feel very much likewise about them. So uh, we'll not pretend like that's a thing. But there is something about it, and the Catholic Church has the most stresses, the most frills, the most, and so it's just the visual that it creates, walking around with that giant fucking God damn it, I forgot the name of it again.
Garb, just call it a garb. Fuck it.
Yeah, the garbs. I'm talking about the fucking the scepter he's holding with
Oh yeah.
the Jesus bread in it, and he's coming to bless them with it. The communion wafers in there, and they believe that's Jesus. Like this, they literally believe what they believed is they were bringing the body of Jesus Christ to this detention facility. And so for very religious people, very religious Catholics, especially on this post, what they saw was people who not only didn't deign to kneel before the Lord, but refused to enter. I'm serious. This was in the comments. Okay, and I'm making this shit up. They also didn't allow them into the ICE facility. And I think that resonates with people in a way that some of the other stuff doesn't. And I think it's an important thing because, like I said, it's really hard to build empathy until something happens to you. And if you see something happening to other Christians, maybe this resonates. If you really don't see Catholics as Christian, you're probably still fine. I did vote for this, but I don't know. What do you guys think of that?
I
Am I overexcited about this?
Here's
I
the thing. Go ahead, Jake.
I did think you were a little bit overexcited to drag the Catholics for a second, but
I
I
just
think your overall message is correct. I do agree. Like this is like religious freedom. This is huge for a lot of people in our country. It is big, and it is. You should have religious freedom in this country.
And I
Exactly.
wholeheartedly agree. As much as I
Yes.
mock them, by the way, like I
Yes.
believe that you
Yeah,
have every right to believe that that bread is Jesus Christ.
Right. But I do think that it is wrong to deny people any chance of anything like that. That is not right. That is not for them to stop. That is there are people coming in to do their idea of good work, and they should be allowed.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. God bless
Hallelujah.
Britney Spears. Got it.
Brad, you got anything less blasphemous for us?
well, just to play devil's advocate.
That's ironic.
They couldn't have let the entirety of the church into that detention center, like just
Sure,
like
sure,
any
sure.
jail. But 100% they could have definitely let the man in the robe walk in the door. Like
for
it
sure.
seems safe. You know what I mean? I think that was I don't know like I think people just lack empathy in the world. Like that's really what this boils down to. At the end of the
Hmm.
day, is just people just don't like the basic like sympathy for others.
Yeah.
Um, so I think when you deny people and make them less than that, they're not even worthy of like their basic religious freedoms that are given to everyone in America, then it's like it's we're just losing what we are supposed to represent or what we were always told to represent. Or when somebody doesn't like something, it's the gun they stick to. It is the hill that they will die on. And then they're so quick to be like, actually, those silly fucking detainees don't count.
Right, right. I, I mean, that was one thing, like the founding fathers, you know, there were no moral giants, okay? But one thing that they understood was, and like this was where that in my and this is just in my mind, in my opinion, it does seem like the original idea of them coming together to protect themselves. One of the foundational principles of empathy they felt with each other was that their different religions needed to be protected. Like they needed to feel like they didn't have to uh, become Maryland Catholics or Virginian whatever or Pennsylvania Quakers. You know what I mean? That's the only couple I can think of. I don't know. There's others, but like there was the idea of religious freedom is foundational. Like this idea that like somehow we are a single purpose Christian nation is beyond absurd. Like they understood very well that they needed to allow for everyone's religion in order to protect their own.
Right.
They didn't get that when it came to slavery, but they got that very well when it came to their religion. You know what I mean? And that was like, I don't know. For me, that's I don't understand how like if you've even lost that to say less educated, Brad, 60% of this country is functionally illiterate,
Undereducated.
undereducated.
Fortunately, we're firing everybody at the Department of Education, so it should get obviously overwhelmingly better. It's obviously going to get better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The Pell Grant on which I was receiving my college education is now officially kaput. So and also the Pell Grants that still do exist have been cut uh in less than half in most of the reporting that I've seen. So yeah,
Yeah.
not to worry. Soon we won't be illiterate. You'll just be what everybody else is.
You know, I have a little phrase that I learned from a child's TV show that stuck with me my entire life, and it's super easy. You can just say it to yourself when you feel like you're being rude. It's just empathy, empathy. Put yourself in the place of me.
Hmm.
That's it.
Hmm.
That's it.
It's
That's all you have to do.
Should have put that one in the Constitution. Jesus Christ. All right. That's I don't know. That's I don't know. I hope that like I hope this is breaking through. I hope that on the 18th, I hope we see people out there we didn't see the last couple of times. I hope that this is much bigger, much broader. Chinkalo Migro, baby. Like let's get out there and let's do this thing. Let's make it big. But so uh Jake, you want to bring up the crypto uh things we got? So the crypto market, fellows, took a dive to say the least. Was had maybe what we would call like the equivalent of a bank run, a major liquidation by major whales taking their money out of the market, and then a sell off by lots of other people as well. Um,
This one?
no, no, that is a interesting factoid. But we already talked about that in the last episode. The
Is it the giant confusing graph?
No, those are all last week's.
Did you send new ones?
Oh, in the group chat.
Uh,
One. All right, Jake, you got the right ones now.
yes.
So on Friday, the crypto markets crashed after Trump announced his new China tariffs, fueled by a leverage boom, culminating in billions of long positions. I guess that's a real thing in crypto, uh, being liquidated. It was what 19? What's the number? Okay, so
19
for
billion is the single greatest loss in history.
okay, And of course, there was corruption. Uh, Everybody's favorite BlackRock bought five. Is that a that's 100,000?
1, 2, 3.
That's billion, 5 billion worth of Bitcoin at 105 after the crash. So 105K is after the crash, correct, Brad?
Yes.
That's the price after the crash.
Yep.
It happened. The crash happened after hours when BlackRock employees were already gone. So how did BlackRock know there would be a crash on Friday after hours and ready to drop $5 billion? Well, of course, because it's being manipulated. Um, then we got a couple more slides, and then we'll talk about it. Uh, a whale on Hyperliquid, a crypto derivatives exchange, opened massive short positions just 30 minutes before Trump's 100% tariff announcement. 30 fucking minutes. Are you serious? Closed the trades for $192 million in profit in one fucking day. The accounts were created this morning and the funds withdrawn in hours. This is the most corrupt. So, as if it's not bad enough what they're doing with the stock market, um, you have an even less regulated version of this in the crypto market. Brad, you're our resident crypto expert. Why don't you go ahead and give us a little rundown of what happened and how this manipulation is costing people their lives, essentially a lot of people their financial lives.
So there are people that get into long positions in crypto, like you had talked about, so where they get into coins at intros and they put large amounts of money into these positions and with the potential for it to go, up 100 times or something like um
Say like when we bought Dogecoin at like
right,
what?
yeah, when we bought it for 3 cents and it ended up going to 75 cents, like, what I mean? That could happen with these coins.
That's a lot of money.
Well, it's an incredible amount of money.
Mhm.
It's an incredible amount of money when you're starting with, I don't know, $5 billion, say. If a company has $5 billion to invest in something like that. The same with BlackRock having a purchase point at a currency that had been trading between like 112 and 118. Give or this is ballpark numbers.
Mhm.
Okay, they had set up before the crash. They set up a purchase price of 5 billion, so $5 billion at 105. So there's no coincidence. There's no coincidences when it comes to like major economic moves like that. It's not like we know now that what they're doing. So essentially what they did was these huge whales, the same way that 10% control 90% of the stock market, these huge whales have now infiltrated the unregulated market of
Crypto.
cryptocurrency. Right. Yeah. So in situations where you and I could make money, they've realized that they can make insane amounts of money. Like that guy that made that account that made $192 million in a day.
Mhm.
Like they realize that they can do that because what they do is they essentially pump the coin. They have the money to change the price. They have the money to force the price of the coin up. And they've been buying the whole way. So once it reaches the peak, they've made money on all of it the whole way up. And then they fucking dump it. And these people are trying to catch a falling knife. They're buying more, and the price is still going down because they control the price. They're affecting the price. They're affecting the price. So now you're getting more people to buy in and just taking more money.
Mm.
And then you wait for it to get down to the bottom because you know where that is. And then you rinse and repeat. Bitcoin was at 105,000. It's already back up to like 116. Like,
Damn.
that's what I mean. 116. So these people, there are people that lost every dollar to their name in crypto. I had accounts that were minus 40%, minus 35% in a day. In a day. Like I said, I'm in them to where it doesn't matter. It's either zero or I'm a millionaire. I don't care. But those are the kind of losses I would have experienced in a day. Imagine taking your entire portfolio, what you have for life, and somebody cuts it by 40% in a day.
And so many people did because people like David Sachs and Donald Trump and Don Jr., Eric, Kushner. These assholes are out here and they're like, yeah, crypto, it's the future, yada, yada, yada. All because they can't get a loan at a real fucking bank. All because their businesses have been cut out of real banking and real money because of fraud and more fraud. So they're hyping up this crypto thing, making it sound like a safe investment for people, encouraging people to take the retirement, which is already in a volatile stock market. Take it out of the stock market and shift it into these things. They come up with this thing called the stable coin, which makes it sound even safer, when in fact it does nothing but make it even more volatile. And they keep selling this thing to people like it's some sort of fucking answer to their prayers. And when you hit big like that, you get a winning lottery ticket, you start to think maybe it's true. You're like, oh boy, man, look at that. I fucking hit. I bought fucking Dingle Nut coin at fucking, and I mean that probably is actually a coin because those are the kind of fucking stupid names they give them. Like I bought Dingle Nut at 2.02 cents, like less than a penny, and now it's up to 3 cents. I made like fucking $7,000, right, off my $100 bet. It's way better than a fucking 17 parlay. You can't. Nobody's hitting seven legs, but you just might hit fucking 7 cents, right? It just might happen. But your odds are much better. But at the same time, it's so easily manipulated by people with more money than you that, like, no matter what, even if you manage to survive, chances are when that whale splashes, you're going to get fucking drowned. Like almost every time. There's almost no chance of you surviving this thing long term. And I've been saying that. People are like, who could have predicted this? I mean, like any idiot with a fucking pair of eyeballs, like, and like a mistrust of billionaires.
Dude, when I was like day trading cryptocurrency, I've never had more anxiety in my entire life watching what the market, watching what it would do. It was like terrifying to experience.
Yeah. People love that though. It's like a
It's gambling.
all
Oh, it's gambling.
it is just a giant. You're putting your money into a big fucking slot machine, and you're just watching those wheels spin all day long. Tick 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 tick. It's the same idea too, because it when you win big, but like you've already lost so much, and then you're like up and you're down, and it's hard to tell how much money you've lost or won until you like really reflect on it too, like because it's constantly up and down and up and down and up and down. But it's the excitement, it's the volatility that people that attracts people and it gets them involved in it. And very few people really even understand what they're investing in. And the reason why that is, I think, mostly is because it's nothing. You're investing in nothing.
None of it's real, brother. None of it
No,
is real.
no, as fake as it is that you're investing in the belief that McDonald's cheeseburgers are somehow worth a $110 a share. As much as that's fucking nuts, it's even more nuts that you're like, well, I think that some random empty vacuous uh bit of data mining called fucking, I don't know, ass hair is worth, 25 cents. Like it's not, that's even more ridiculous, but it's like a caricature of the real thing. Because it's not, and maybe that gives people more confidence in it because it seems like, well, yeah, that's how the stock market works. I just can't afford the real stock market. That's what I can afford. I don't know
Yeah,
what it is, but like people do, and people with not a lot of money lose a lot of money in this.
yeah, like Wolf of Wall Street, the guy Leo played in the movie, Leonardo played in the movie.
Right, right.
Essentially, that's what it is now with crypto, with like these altcoins. They're essentially penny stocks.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is they're selling garbage to garbage men like in the hopes that they're gonna hit it rich. Like, you know, minimal risk for downside, huge risk for upside. Like that's what they tell I mean, that's what they tell people to get them to buy in. And I'm not gonna lie, I've made money on crypto. It has been good to Brad. However, it is solely because I was like in panic mode all the time watching it.
Hmm.
And the difference is if you're invested into these and then they crash, you can't buy at the bottom to rebuild the fortune that you had. Like these billionaires, these people that can invest $5 billion into Bitcoin when it touches 105 grand, they had $5 billion laying around. You had everything you were worth in Bitcoin and it went down 40%, and now you can't buy to replenish. You just have to pray it goes back up.
Does anyone have a rough estimate for the math challenge like myself as approximately how many Bitcoins $5 billion buys you at 105? Let's say 100.
I mean, you figure there's 10 in a million times 1,000. So 100,000 Bitcoin per billion. So 500,000 Bitcoin, right? I think that's right.
Oh my God.
Yeah. 500,000 Bitcoin.
Holy shit. Holy shit. That is so
That's
much.
insane.
That's so much fucking money.
But the
Because
thing is, the
because
same way that I
that's
say
that's
they
like
can't produce paper. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say like because you're saying it's up at least the conservatively 10 grand per coin now where it sits right now
Yeah,
conservatively.
yeah,
So they made 10 grand 500,000 times.
yeah. It's a cool $1 billion.
That's
Like,
crazy
yeah, I made $500 million.
in the blink of an eye.
Poof, like that, dude. Overnight, before they even get back in the office on Monday morning.
Jesus Christ. It's all so fake. It's all so
That's
fake. They didn't print any money. Where did the money come from?
that's what I mean. Where do they? I don't understand where they could not account for all the cash, all the money that's in the world. They couldn't account for. Like, show it to me, even in Federal Reserve paper notes. Show it to me. You
A,
can't.
a
It doesn't
bank,
exist.
a good old fashioned bank run in one American city would fucking topple this entire economy. There is no doubt. There is no way. No
Dude,
fucking way.
I couldn't get $8,000 in cash from my bank same day.
That's crazy.
Yeah, couldn't get $8,000 in cash from my bank same day.
They've printed so much money over the years. It's so bad. It is so bad. This AI bubble is bad, but it is just it's a fucking pimple on the ass of the problem.
Yeah, crypto, I mean, $19 billion was liquidated from the crypto market. 19 billion is insane.
That is insane.
There's
Nine,
no like the Corona was only 1.8 billion. And in a single day, in a day where Trump announced 100% tariffs on China, and normally when it does something, when the stock market reacts to something that'll like lessen the value of the dollar, like the crypto market does not follow it to the same
no.
degree. And it like fucking, dude, it was a race to the bottom. It was insane to watch for real.
Yeah, 1000%.
And obviously, like I said, it doesn't affect me because I'm not retiring tomorrow, and it's not, but there are some people that day trade and live by this, and they are ruined. They're ruined. These folks are about to have to get manufacturing jobs. Oh, it's
Yep.
the long con, Donald. The long con.
Holy shit. They are fucking ringing us for every single penny.
They have to make
Every
us as
single fucking penny.
they have to make us as poor as they can. We don't even know who created Bitcoin still.
No, no, we don't. And it's not, I mean, it's essentially, I mean, I guess it's all pretty fucking worthless, but I mean, anything that can lose that much value that quickly is not really a great investment.
What if it was Benny?
That's lazy. That's every conspiracy theory.
I know it's easy.
That's lazy.
I actually think that it has more ties to Russia than anything.
I don't know. Whoever's writing this script is pretty lazy. It just might be true. This
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
this timeline is terrible. I don't know who fucking approves these things, who the editor in chief is, but this shit sucks.
yeah. I definitely, my guess would be more toward Russia than anybody else. But
Yeah,
some people experience life-changing losses this weekend.
yeah. That's it's I don't know. I don't want to make light because it really did ruin a lot of people's lives. But Jesus, dude, like you're getting played.
It's just more of the class war. Like that's the point I'm always trying to drive home
I
in every
know.
episode. Is it is a class war.
Like, how much longer
It
before we
is
just
us
get a
versus them.
fork and knife and eat these motherfuckers? Like, what are we waiting for, really? It's
It's
crazy. How
us
much,
versus them.
how many times are we going to let them fucking mollywop us with their fucking, I don't know, miniature peckers before we decide that, like, enough is enough and, like, it's time for us to have a share of the money that we make them? The AI is built on our intellectual property. Social media was already built on our intellectual property. They stole books, magazines, every news article they took and they reproduced for free. They ruined local newspapers, then they ruin national newspapers. They've ruined the press in general. Social media is responsible for that. And social media and AI are the same person. It's the same guy with a fucking funny mustache and pair of glasses. There's not different people. Couldn't trust them the first time. Can't trust them this time. They didn't deserve it the first time. They don't deserve it this time. Just don't.
TV killed the radio, and then the internet slit the television's throat.
True. All right. That's enough of me getting worked up. Let's go have some fun. Let's take a break. Before we do, let's shout out a sponsor who we'll never have. How about how about Palantir? We know you're fucking listening anyway. Uh, thanks to Palantir. Now, your information belongs to Amazon, it belongs to Walmart, and it belongs to Target. So if your ads know when there's holes in your underwear, you've got Palantir to thank. And if you can't afford to replace those underwear, you also have Palantir to thank. We'll be back. We're back. What's Left podcast? John, Jake, Brad on the Punk Rock Garage Band podcast on the Derealization Nation Media Network. Like and subscribe if you haven't done it already. It's time now to take a turn down speculation lane, or you're on Speculation Sunday. It's time to look at some conspiracy theories and examine them. Usually the guys try to pick the most ridiculous thing they could possibly think of because they know it's going to give me a migraine and try to convince me that it's real. And I try to refute them as best that I can. And then but what's happened is that I've really like started to enjoy these trips down the rabbit hole, and I start to come up with some of my own stuff too. So it's actually been quite a lot of fun, and I'm excited to hear what's been brought to the table today, and also, as always, a little frightened. All right. So, which who wants to start this one off?
Jake, do you want to go first?
Yeah, because yours is fun. So mine, I chose without knowing the full truth, the lizard people.
You
Not
said the
knowing,
full truth and then said the lizard people.
Good
not
God.
knowing me liking playing the Argonian quest line in all of Skyrim, but the lizard people are reptilian humanoids, which play a huge role in political world. Any major decision made throughout the world, these lizard people are in control of. So in actual folklore, like they were first like known in South Asia. The mythology is the Naga, and they were semi-divine creatures which were half human, half lizard. And like the states, they were southern United States where swamps were common in the late 1980s. There were hundreds of supposed sightings of the lizard man in South Carolina and places like that. Um, so I guess they do come from, I'm going to stick with this. They do come from the Orion constellation. So there's some theories they came from Earth. The others are that they came from space, like from constellations like Orion's, and they come onto Earth, they suck the blood of humans to get the the DNA,
Mhm.
and are able to transform into humanoid figures. And these humanoid figures, they grasp like political and power rules and are able to make decisions like Diana's death, JFK, JFK shooting, and things like 9/11.
Real quickly, did you happen to, in your research, come upon like in what way they're involved in the JFK assassination? I've never really like understood. Were they like the
There
other
was
shooters, or were they like they just like magically split bullets that like swarmed his
so
head and hit him from several
there
angles?
so much information in this that I did not get. Like I thought this was like a oh, just a light funny one. I did not get it, but I would assume that these were the people making the decision to have JFK assassinated. These were the people making the decision to have Princess Diana because Queen Elizabeth was known to be a lizard person, and other political figures were known to be a lizard person. Like these are just like the peoples who make that stuff happen. Like these are the ones that were. And this all became like huge from the dude Ike's research and he was a sports reporter who transformed when he saw the lizard person and had this whole huge awakening and decided to change his whole outlook on life and preach this stuff. He still has a website to this day where people publish and talk and discuss what is going on in the happenings of the world. It was the biggest secret was his book that he claimed many world leaders and other influential sphere people were possessed or so-called reptilian. Um, they're like in the myths, they become the hybrid race, the Babylonian Brotherhood, to plot a worldwide fascist state. A worldwide fascist state. Yes.
Right.
Imagine that.
These are his things. I don't believe like any of his claims directly because he's very not a good person. The theory has historical ties to anti-Semitic tropes that accuse a hidden evil or manipulating world events from the shadows. So he is known. He believed that like a lot of these, I guess I have to say it, like all of these things, like he was like these Jewish bankers and other things were controlling the people, and he said that they were lizard people completely profiling them and like things like that. But that's
Mhm.
what he claims.
Can I be real quick about something?
Yeah.
Because like one of the reasons that I hesitated with the whole like let's talk about conspiracy theories things was because I knew we were gonna have to bash Israel because Israel is a fucking terrible actor out there in the world, and I knew that was going to maybe have people be say, oh well, they're anti-Semitic, and I wanted to be able to say with no uncertainty that absolutely we are not. And I feared that, like, taken out of context, a clip of ours could come across and find us talking about a conspiracy theory. And almost every single conspiracy theory comes around to some form of anti-Semitism. It's not 100%, but it's in the 90s. It's a lot of that. So, like, I just want to say that, like, it was one of the hesitations that I had was like, ugh, if we do conspiracy theories, we're going to run into a lot of anti-Semitic people. And we do, but it's just for fun. So I just want to throw that disclaimer out there. Like
Yeah.
these people are disgusting. This man in particular is disgusting.
Yes, he is. So like his preaching of this has also caused like a lot of problems. Like there's been people who have killed their own brothers because they believe that they're a lizard person. Um, there was a bombing in Chicago or
Yeah.
something because of someone who believed in the lizard people. Um, I really don't have too much more on this. I don't feel comfortable and knowledgeable enough to talk about like the QAnon and the ties to all this stuff. But if you guys have any more like I
I
didn't
you say
Pizzagate and all that, like I don't have enough knowledge on that stuff to be like accurately telling it to someone else.
well, I would just say like first of all, Pizzagate, the people who created Pizzagate, like using real human suffering to try to further some partisan stance uh is fucked up. Like taking those victim stories and turning it into some kind of fucking joke. Because I'm sure, like, this is a joke to the people who wrote this. Uh, but yeah, that's one thing for sure. That, and I've always said it, I've said it again. Like, I'm pretty sure QAnon only exists because somebody bought into an ivermectin pyramid scheme and needed to unload the rest of their ivermectin.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's all this is.
I will tell you a couple more things. So 4% of Americans believe in this, which is about 12 million people.
It's more than zero, and
It's it's about
that's
12 million
unfortunate.
people who believe in this. And like one of my favorite stories of this whole which what I knew about lizard people was like one of this story was there is a sheriff who was abducted and they put him under hypnosis to get his story and he claimed that he was abducted by these lizard people from space
Mhm.
and he remembers the face and that they had an emblem on their shoulder and it was later just like pushed under the brush because no one believed him. But that was my favorite part of this whole thing.
Do you believe that he saw a lizard person?
Oh, I definitely believe lizard people are real.
Yeah, they didn't pull me in that questionnaire, so make it 12 million and one.
Yeah, so actually, you can bump that up because there's some warning signs. There, there are some warning signs, like their blue and hazel eyes. They like the candy hearts from Valentine's Day.
That's sick. That's fucking sick. You've never seen anybody eat one of those.
I love them. I do love them. They're so good because they taste like
Oh,
rock.
is this like reverse psychology where the lizard people expose the lizard people? Is
See,
that what
like
you're
when I
doing
was going
here?
over this
Like
list, I
I
was
mean, it's what QAnon did. They're
I
like,
really thought
there's a
I was
couple of
a
billionaires
person.
over there.
I thought I was one. I had to check myself before I wrecked myself because it's crazy. They have red hair. I have recessive traits for red hair. That is crazy. There's like more like a forked tongue
Bit of a
and
stretch.
scales. There's some obvious ones. There's some mannerisms and stuff. You probably know one.
It's mostly tongue shit.
It's the tongue shit.
This is- if you ever see somebody
That's not
lick,
you. And if it does, maybe check yourself because
yeah, if you've ever licked your own eyeball, you might be a lizard person.
I thought it was a lot more fun of a conspiracy until I got into it. It is very deep and dark.
Yeah, it gets weird as fuck, bro.
Hmm.
It's the jumping off point, and I think that's its appeal because it is fun at first. And you're like,
Yeah.
ooh, and it answers the question. Like, there's definitely forces at work holding me back, and I think that's also a big part of a lot of conspiracy theories, is that people want to know why the fuck they can't seem to get ahead when other people do, and it's not that. It's
I
not
did
that.
learn. I did learn. So like these people, they want power and they keep power, right? So like I learned that there's a lot of presidents who are really related. Like Obama's related to a lot of older presidents, and so was
And and Winston Churchill.
Trump and Hillary Clinton are 19th cousins.
Of course they are.
They're 19th cousins.
I've seen a thing like you could all the lineage can be tied back to like,
Yeah.
such and such. All presidents except for Barack. Barack a flock of flame fucked everything up.
No,
No,
he is.
he's got ties too.
A lot of them.
A lot. Dude,
He's
I don't
in
know.
them.
He's in there. Even Barack Obama is related to several presidents. I'll look him up. What else you got on the lizard people? Uh,
That's about it.
Brad. What's Brad got?
Oh, I believe 100% that Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard person. I don't believe necessarily that there's a whole lizard regime, but Mark Zuckerberg's a lizard person for sure. He definitely
Yeah,
sleeps on a rock under a heat lamp at night. 100%.
He
for
does
sure.
look like one. Like if you were to like give me an example, you could say Mark Zuckerberg.
His
Yeah,
eyes closed sideways. I'm
Mhm.
sure of it.
I've never seen his eyes close.
Yeah.
That dude is weird as fuck. There is something. Well, I don't want to get ahead of my conspiracy
If I had
theory.
to put
There's
a
something wrong
person
with
in
all of them.
power, Melania kind of looks like a lizard person too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I also believe that Hillary could be a lizard person.
Yeah, I
And
believe that Queen Elizabeth too. She kind of looked like a lizard person.
I think we could all agree that the queen had lizard skin at the very least. I mean, she was a million.
She's
Like,
crazy
she was a
how those
million.
marks started showing up towards the end because they couldn't cover up the lizard coming through.
Is that what's going on with fucking the leprosy on uh Cankle's
On
hands?
Donnie? Yeah.
Yeah. So here's a list. Barack Obama is related to George W. Bush and George H.W. Bush. He's the 10th cousin once removed uh of the Bushes, sharing a common ancestor, the 17th century Massachusetts couple named Samuel Hinckley, who I know that name too for some reason, and Sarah Sewell. James Madison, Harry S. Truman, Lyndon Johnson, Jeremy Carter, George Washington. Also distant, even more distant cousins to John Quincy Adams, Zachary Taylor, Rutherford B. Hayes, Grover Cleveland, Calvin Coolidge, and both of the Roosevelts. That's who Barack Obama is related to.
That's insane.
That is insane.
And Eleanor was his fifth cousin to Teddy.
Yeah. And I mean, like, just having read that list, all of those people are related. So that's like half, you know what I mean? Like,
That's a lot of them. I don't know them all. That's a lot of them.
That's a lot. It's a lot. It makes sense. You know, there was this place has always been it's a republic uh with with a supposed democratic vote. Yeah, but the rich have always been in charge of who gets nominated. So
Yes.
it always stands to reason that certain families have been in charge.
These
I'm
folks don't be using their TikTok right, bro.
There was an ancient group who were called lizard people who had very advanced technology too. And they had tunnels under several cities too. But I didn't get to deep into dive in that one either.
well, you know, we can always come back to it, you know? We can always come
The
back to it.
fun side of it.
Yeah. Need like I'm gonna come home and you're just gonna have the walls covered in fucking pins and yarn and shit.
Yeah, I'd rather report about Katy Perry being or
That's
John Ramsey.
it's Erica Kirk. Also, whose body is that, by the way, then? If it's not if Katy Perry is John Benet Ramsey,
Yeah.
then I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Have you seen
Brad,
it?
you know what? I'm sorry I asked. Brad,
Have you? I
Do,
don't
do
know.
you want to go, John? Because I think mine will be
And
more on the fun side.
oh yes, you know that I don't like to have fun. Uh, so
Well, I just think this one's going to get you all worked up.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
I know.
all right, so listen, I wanted I've been waiting. I've done some research on Peter Thiel. I've been waiting for this Antichrist lecture to come out so I can research that and give you guys some insight into what the actual forces are that are behind the government that's driving us and holding us back. You know, Peter Thiel being a big one with Palantir, winning all kinds of government contracts. He's also the biggest donor to the Republicans in the 2026 uh, midterms, and he's the longest running. He's the most politically involved of all the billionaires, of all the PayPal mafia. Like Peter Thiel has been the one involved in politics. If he wasn't such a weird, unlikable person, he would run for office himself. But he knows that his ideas are insane and that people won't accept them. He said as much. And he also knows that he has the charisma of, say, a lizard. And he, so he, David Sachs, Elon Musk, and Roloff Botha, they all make up what's called the PayPal Mafia, right? And they all come not from Massachusetts or Denver or fucking Dallas, Texas, but from apartheid South Africa. Okay. All of these people were kids in a place where it was common for people to walk in and out of a shop and Heil Hitler each other. Like they sold Nazi merchandise. I mean, it was an apartheid state. They suppressed the black vote. They suppressed women's votes. They believed very strongly in these things. In fact, Elon Musk's mother's family moved from Canada specifically because they were so pro apartheid. They moved, that's his dad, who is a monster who molested his sister or stepsister and did some other things that Elon Musk says are unspeakable, said that his in laws were batshit crazy. That guy thought his in-laws were crazy. The same mother, the same May fucking Musk, who they tried to bring on Fox News to humanize Elon and told women that they should just, you know, eat out less and they'd be able to afford more children. And the reason that she wants them to have more children is the same reason all of them want to have more children. And that is because they all subscribe to the idea of white apartheid, which is based in the same ideas as the great replacement theory, which is a
Hey, real quick, sorry. Imagine being on the search for a home and the list number one priority is very racist. Like
where's the
item number one, very racist.
where's the apartheid box on Zillow?
Right. That's crazy.
Price any apartheid
Yeah. Mandatory.
mandatory. Swimming pool optional. Yeah, no, isn't that nuts? So like This evil man was like, my in-laws were mad evil. And then this bitch is on there telling him, gotta have more babies. They're all obsessed with these, like, gotta have babies, gotta have babies. Uh, because they believe, as part of this great replacement theory, which, stems from a book written by some asswipe named Camus in 2011, believes that migration and the birth rate of non-whites threatens the power of white people. And this conspiracy theory has been debunked thoroughly by common sense, science, research, reading, basic critical thinking, literally anything that you can think of debunks this conspiracy theory. It is wrong on its face. It's not happening. The idea that like the white majority is shrinking is first of all kind of just nonsense, but also not important. But it is important because this is what the people who are putting the most money, the people who are running the show right now in our government, that's what they believe, right? And it's weird how, somebody like Peter Thiel, he's so obsessed with the Antichrist. And he believes that we as a people are obsessed with the Antichrist. So he's using this, him and his friends use their Christianity to manipulate. So these billionaires, what does Peter Thiel have in common with fucking Ralph from Middletown, Ohio? Fucking nothing. But they both talk about Jesus Christ, and they both believe in the apocalypse, and they both believe that the white people are being replaced by brown people. And they use this thing to drum up support from working class, from people, because otherwise they would have no support whatsoever because their ideas are insane. And also, these people are blindingly stupid. Like that whole uh, Antichrist thing that Peter Thiel did, 4 days worth of a lecture. There is nothing, and I mean nothing in there. It is psychobabble fucking nonsense. It makes no sense. He says nothing, he commits to nothing. He calls everybody the Antichrist from every time he calls somebody the Antichrist, he also refutes it. It's like Bill Gates, well, he's too old, and blah blah blah. Greta Thunberg was the closest he came to the Antichrist. It was just something that Brad could probably get on board with. He
Yeah, I
also,
mean, I'm listening. If you got more on that, I'd like that clip. If we could discuss Greta being the Antichrist. But I digress. Let's
yes,
hear.
no, she's of the right age, because the Antichrist can't be too old, has to be charismatic, has to be somebody in government. But he believes that we are fomenting the Antichrist now by not allowing the advance of science. He feels that science is somehow under attack, um, but because of regulations, and fucking whatever other goddamn reason. But he really believes this shit. Even Steve Bannon has called white South Africans the most racist people on earth. And that's coming from Bannon, y'all. Like,
They never met my grandpa.
yeah, Bannon is not exactly not uh, and listen, the prime minister of South Africa at the time that those folks lived there as children was a man named John Vortor or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce his name, and I don't give a fuck because he was a fucking open Nazi fascist who was a general in a militia that fought alongside of Hitler. So this is the world that they grew up in. And so if you think that for 1 second the people who are running this country right now are anything less than Nazis, you're out of your mind. This is like we have been secretly taken over by a group of mega wealthy Nazis. That's where we're at. What do you what do you what are you mouthing at me, Jake?
Lizard people.
Lizard people. Maybe. Before you say to me, but John, these are not Nazis. These are Christians. These are nationalists. I want to remind you that the Nazis called themselves the National Socialist because those two things, and you'd use the color red, which they hijacked from communists because their own ideas were too unlikable. Their ideas were completely unfuckable. Nobody would have touched them. So they had to hijack ideas from communism to make people come to their meetings in the first place. So the whole reason that it's called National Socialism, you'll see this like every bot on the internet. The first thing that'll pop up is be like, well, Nazis are on the left because they're called the National Socialists. They were socialists, which is an absurd and stupid thing to do. They purposefully call themselves socialists so they would not be so would not be so unpopular as to not be able to gain power, which is exactly what they're doing with the Christian nationalism. The only thing that matters to these people is white. The only thing that matters, right? And they, just like the Nazis, will take whatever allies they need to take along the way until they no longer need them. They're so if you see like you're like, well, now I've seen Latinos for Trump, right? Like these can't be Nazis because I've seen people out there. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're already seeing it. They don't need them anymore. They got their votes, and whoosh, they're doing what they love to call remigration and sending all of the non-white people out of the country. And if Stephen Miller sounds like Goebbels, it's not a fucking accident, pal. He believes that that's who he is. He believes very firmly in that. This is something that exists in all over the world. This ideology, but it has taken root in the United States by foreigners of the United States. Uh, and and this is like it's literally it's becoming our government because these people have more money than fucking God. And it's so ironic that like they're all against the globalist, the globalist, the globalist, when they are literally the globalists because they have enough money to not have to give a fuck what the laws of any one country are. If they don't like the laws in one country, they move their manufacturing to another. And it's just they are everything they warn against. They are likely like if there is such thing as an antichrist, it is probably them. Like it's probably Peter Thiel. It might be JD Vance. I don't want to give him too much credit though. Even Peter Thiel pulls back on JD Vance a little. He says, I love everything about JD. 90% behind him, but he's too much of a papist for him. Papist. Papist. I don't know how they pronounce it. He's too much, he's too Catholic. He's too buddy buddy with the Pope. Because the only thing that could be worse, yep, is the only thing that could be worse than Christian nationalism failing is Christian nationalism succeeding, but becoming part of the Catholic Church. His thoughts, not mine. Uh, yeah. So that's my conspiracy theory, if you will, is that we are being taken over by real life Nazis.
Yeah, that didn't feel very conspiracy theory. That really just felt
Yeah.
like you were telling us current events.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the news. I know, but it's just like, hmm, I don't know. It's so, people are just so afraid to say it, you know? We don't want to call them anything else, God, Jeffries, extreme MAGA Republicans. Listen, they're not extreme MAGA Republicans. They're fucking Nazis. And we will call them as such. That's it. I'm done with fucking MAGA. No MAGA. It's spelled Nazi. Nazi, Nazi, Nazi. All right, Brad.
All right.
Take us someplace happier.
So mine is,
Make me a bird so I can fly far, far
yeah,
away from here.
uh, mine is one from before I was born, and it just lets me know that the generation that came before me does not have the same grasp on reality that my generation does, and does
Hmm.
not have the same grasp on reality that the generation after me does. because there's no way these old motherfuckers fell for this shit. There is no way. This one is one like I'm pretty serious about the 9/11 thing. I really think that was like I really feel strongly about what I say about 9/11. But also, I'm just telling you a statement of fact. This is not a conspiracy theory. We did not go land on the moon in 1969, brother. That did not happen. And if you could play the first clip of the Bro podcast, like it's the two dudes on the podcast, play that
Okay.
one because they just list the facts for me, so I don't have to go long winded on it because I'll start ranting.
Oh God. Yeah, I don't need the. Well, if I gotta find it, give me 2 seconds. Um, I want to see.
Here's all the proof that we've never been to the moon. Okay, I totally believe that we have never been there. Well, in case you had any doubt, I want to settle the score. I have doubt. The first fact, there's 5 facts. First one, there's no atmosphere or wind on the moon. Which means, why is the flag flying? Yes, why is the flag flying? Why is it waving around if there's no wind and no atmosphere on the moon? It doesn't make any sense. Do you want me to tell you why? Because we didn't go there. Because it was in a studio in LA. Okay. The second one is that stars are visible on the moon. Yeah. If you go back, you watch videos, you watch clips of the first moon landing, everything. There's no stars. There's no stars in the background. It's just black sky, which doesn't make any sense. You really don't have to convince me, but this is more for the audience. It is. It's for the audience. I do not believe it happened. You know the videos of the people jumping on the moon? Yes. Like they walk around, they're taking their first steps and everything. They look all jolly and joyous. It looks like they're wired in. Yeah, well, they're getting like 3 to 4 inches off the ground, which isn't high at all. Like you could jump that on Earth easily. For every 0.6 meters, they should be jumping 2.7 meters in the air. That's the gravity difference. So be able to come like only 3-4 inches off the ground while they're hopping. They should be flying. They basically should be flying. Exactly. 2.7 meters is like a lot of meters. You ever see a picture of the first footprint on the moon? I think so, but I'll look it up. Why? Okay, so Neil Armstrong supposedly had his first step on the moon, and the footprint has like these ridges and like whatever. Yes, I see it now. So then if you look up Neil Armstrong's spacesuit, the bottom foot does not match the footprint. There's no ridges. It's a pretty smooth foot, proving that we did not go there. You would think that they would think this through before faking the entire thing. At least make it semi-believable. It's they can't crazy. Even do that. They can't even get a footprint right. And then there's a video of like the actual spaceship landing on the moon or like them touching ground. Who was filming it? I don't know. It's literally from the moon perspective, them coming down. Who was there filming it? It's also like, how do you, I don't get it. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a moon believer. I mean, realistically, I am too, but I just like playing the bit.
All right, Brad.
I am not.
What is
I am not playing the bit.
Sellouts.
We did not land on the moon. Yeah, the corporate sellouts. I believe in the moon landing. No, you don't. The situation was we had to land on the moon. We had to because of the Cold War with Russia and the space race. We had to land on the moon. We had to be the first to remain back-to-back World War champs, baby. Fucking America. Goddamn right. We're the best. So we created the moon landing. And it rallied the troops and it rallied America around USA #1, baby. We're the best. Right. Like, and it changed the morale of the country at the time because it was like a dark time in America. There's no way we did it.
Excellent summary of the 60s, Brad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty dark time. It was. It sure was. All right, so that's all. That's what you got. That's what you want to. That's what you want to play with. I mean,
yeah. First and foremost, who videotaped the landing?
listen. Here's what I do know because I was unprepared. I didn't know you were going to bring this today.
Yeah, you're not refuting it because
you've been talking about it, and I've been saying I got to get back on. I got to go back and I got to watch the Mythbusters because they very conclusively and very convincingly debunk the footprint, the flag. I don't remember the video part. I'm sure they do that part too. Maybe they don't. Maybe because I mean there was I believe what part of the conspiracy was is that there does like they made backup video in case they didn't make it. But they made it. Like they definitely made it. They're fine. As far as the whole jumping thing, like how the fuck do they know how much force a man is putting into his fucking jump? For all they know, he was walking and he was fucking flying off the ground. It's a stupid thing, to talk about, especially when you say something like 2.7 meters is a lot of meters. It's 2.5 and a little extra. Like it's not that many meters, honestly.
Think
That's
that
9 feet.
that's just physics, and you could learn that by calculating the gravitational force on the moon to an average man's stepping or jumping speed.
So let's say if you jump 22 inches, which is not an impressive vertical by any stretch of the imagination.
Speak for yourself.
I don't think that's like I'm a big guy and I think I could get 22 inches right now. I'm just saying it's not like it's not like an NBA leaper that's jumping like 42. You know what I mean? It's not
Certainly
an NBA
not.
leaper.
No.
All right. So let's say 2 feet. We'll say 20 inches. You multiply that by 2.7. That's putting you like 6.5 feet in the air. Your feet should be at 6.5 feet in the air, give or take, ballparkish, for you to just take a leap. They're nowhere near that. They're nowhere near that. Also, you're telling me that motherfucking tinfoil ship made it on the moon? Did you see them leaving the moon, brother? That was done on a Sega Genesis.
It was the
That was
six. There's a
done.
Sega Genesis. Talking about conspiracy theory. Who's Sega Genesis?
Yeah, exactly. That's what you make another great point. They didn't even have the technology to create the Sega Genesis in 1969, but they had enough money to get us to the moon and make an incredibly crisp phone call. If you wouldn't mind playing the next clip, we can get into the incredibly crisp phone call they made in 1969.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Tell me about it, Richie.
All right. So, conspiracy theory number 3: why are there no stars in the pictures of NASA moon landings? If the image was taken on the moon, shouldn't the sky be filled with stars? Blah, blah. Conspiracy theorists argue. Yes, we know what they argue.
They argue truth.
So both the astronauts and the lunar landscape itself are brightly lit by the sun. The sky may look black, but remember, it is in fact daytime on the moon, which is what I was thinking too. So if you're going to take a photo of a brightly lit scene, get your camera shutter speed needs to be fast, and your aperture incredibly small. In that situation, faint objects like stars simply aren't going to show up. That one's a no fucking brainer to me. Like the moon is reflecting the sun. Of course, you don't see the stars.
You're just arguing the point that they didn't have the technology for a clear picture of a star, but they had the ability to go to the moon.
And then record it, land it, but they didn't have the technology to get the stars in the background.
Take a look at the
crazy.
Take a look at the image of the flag, and along the top of the flag, you'll find the answer. There's a telescopic pole extending along the top to make sure the flag flies proudly. Yeah, that is pretty obvious, actually.
That is very obvious.
That's very obvious.
Very clear. The movement of the flag, however, not obvious.
The what?
The flag shouldn't move. I'm completely content with it being rigid. I'm completely understanding it being rigid. It shouldn't move. There's no atmosphere to cause it to move.
It's not moving. It's just wrinkled.
No. If you watch, you're looking at a still of a photograph.
If you watch the fake video that they took.
When they actually put up the flag, it waves. Because you have to show off freedom. Yeah, read the whole story, freaking nerd, dude. Mr. Round Earther, Mr. Whatever.
You guys are fucking ridiculous.
You based yours off a Mythbusters episode.
Right, exactly.
Where do they film that? Not on the moon.
I bet they're owned by one of the 6 mega corporations, you fucking lizard person. Play the Nixon clip.
This is all right, fine. It's your conspiracy. I'll play the clip. That was from the fucking British, some British museum wrote that piece.
Oh yeah, like they're telling the truth.
What reason they have to lie? It's not their stupid fucking moon landing. God damn it! Now I got to listen to fucking Richard Nixon too. Yeah. This is the worst one ever.
How did President Nixon call the moon on a landline in 1969? Let's break down exactly how NASA says it worked. NASA's official explanation. NASA says Nixon's call to the Apollo 11 astronauts was a standard telephone call, but it was relayed through an advanced communication system. Here's how it supposedly worked. Nixon used a regular landline at the White House. The call was routed through NASA's Mission Control in Houston. Houston then transmitted Nixon's voice to the Goldstone Deep Space Communications Complex in California, which had an 85-foot radio antenna. The signal was beamed 239,000 miles to the moon, where the lunar module's VHF radio picked it up. Armstrong and Aldrin responded, and their voices were sent back to Earth the same way. Sounds simple, right? But here's why it shouldn't have worked. The problems with the moon phone call 1. The missing signal delay. The moon is 239,000 miles away, and radio signals take 1.3 seconds one way, meaning Nixon's call should have had at least a 2.6-second delay in responses. Yet, in the broadcast, Armstrong and Aldrin respond instantly, faster than even 1960s transatlantic calls. Even if Mission Control relayed the call instantly, you'd still hear the delay in the astronauts' responses, but there's barely any. 2. The weak lunar transmitter. The lunar module's radio had only 12 watts of power, about the strength of a household Wi-Fi router. Transmitting a clear, two-way conversation across 239,000 miles with such low power? Highly unlikely. NASA's Deep Space Network needed massive radio dishes just to pick up Apollo signals, yet Nixon's voice came through crystal clear. 3. Earth's 1969 communication limitations. Long-distance calls in 1969 were unreliable. They had static, dropouts, and delays even across the US. Transatlantic calls required undersea cables or early satellites, which still had long pauses and interference. But somehow, Nixon's call to space, and even greater distance, worked perfectly with no issues. Before, radio interference and ionosphere distortion signals from the moon had to pass through Earth's ionosphere, which causes distortion and signal loss. But Nixon's call had no static or interference. Solar radiation and cosmic noise should have affected the transmission, yet the audio is flawless. Number 5. A perfect two-way conversation. The Apollo system supposedly allowed full duplex communication, meaning both parties could talk at the same time, like a modern cell phone. But even military radios in 1969 often used push-to-talk half-duplex, meaning only one person could speak at a time. Somehow, Nixon's call functioned like a perfect two-way conversation, despite the extreme distance and limitations of 1960s tech. So, could Nixon really have called the moon?
The answer for those at home, fuck no, bro. Obviously not.
Mm. Do Mythbusters get to that one, or?
Yeah, did they miss that part? Where basic science debunked a show paid by one of the six mega corporations? Imagine that.
I know that you're just trying to appeal to my hatred of corporations. Uh, but I don't know. The fucking
Brother, they set a tinfoil box up there.
Did you see
I know
that
you
show
saw
that
that thing.
supposedly made
It was made out of parchment paper and aluminum foil, dude. Come on.
You know why? I think it was a high schooler's project that they filmed.
It's so disappointing to me that we believe that. You don't believe that, really. We had to. It was for America. But there was no way we went to the moon then, bro. And I know you're facing this is a tough realization right now, and I get it, but we did not go, brother. We did not go to the moon.
The toughest realization is that there's people who really just can't accept the fact that we landed on the moon.
What?
Brother, if we landed on the moon, it's because there was a moon-shaped figure in some studio in Los Angeles. But I promise you, we did not leave the atmosphere and travel 239,000 miles away.
Oh my God.
Elon can't even land one of these billion-dollar jets in the ocean.
Listen,
Elon can't land $1 billion jet in the ocean.
that's
but
because
these guys
he's
can
a
fly a tinfoil
moron.
box. So you're telling me these guys with the tinfoil box and the guys that didn't think black people should have a job are the educated ones who managed to get us to 239,000 fucking miles away?
First of all,
that Elon Musk is not doing the calculations to get that rocket ship into space. Those are engineers. He is not the one that's down there doing the calculations. And by the way, the Discovery Channel is a $44.9 billion company. So you are...
Boom. We are roasting you right now. You are in this. Kill Tim. Kill Tim. They fucking lied to you, John. They lied to you. Watch the History Channel. Watch the History Channel. They'll tell you about 9/11 too. Unbelievable, dude. Unreal.
Holy Jesus. All right. Listen.
The moon landing was fake for sure, dude. And it's cool. Like, we're way past it now. We don't even care about the moon anymore. But if China and Russia said they were going to the moon, I bet you we'd go again.
Yeah. for sure. We'd go again.
Yeah. Imagine what they could do with AI now, bro. They'd have like Buzz Aldrin's skeleton up there doing cartwheels on the moon. It'd be out of hand what they would do with it.
Oh shit. That is how we're gonna land on the moon, isn't it? Or the Mars. It's definitely gonna be completely fake.
Usually you go to the closest one first. We haven't done that yet.
I want to say, just for the record, that the people who worked on the moon landing, there's a very good movie about that, actually, about the women, the black women who were the engineers who did the calculations that got us to the moon, right? So there
Contact?
were, so there was, what is it? What?
The movie Contact?
I think that's, what? No. Jesus Christ. Fucking, you know what? Y'all can't be serious for 2 fucking seconds, and that's all right, because it's Sunday and I don't care anymore. I just don't give a fuck. Believe what you
Dude.
want to believe. Believe what you want to
Well, no,
believe.
this is, I'm so serious about this. I say in a joking manner, but like, I'm so serious. We
No,
did
I
not
know,
land on
no,
the
we
moon.
do believe that we did not make it.
I know. There's like a James Baldwin quote about something about like arguing with, but I can't argue with your beliefs. Is the gist of it,
And your
and
beliefs are based
so I
by the
won't.
fucking mega corporations at the head of all this fucking brainwashing us.
Yeah,
And I'm not hating on the people who worked on it because they probably did do their job. They did their job.
Yeah.
deep state lizard people. They got us there. Listen, and the reason we're not
They
back
did
on the
the
moon is
job
because they
of
did
making
get
an amazing show for us.
because they gave the job to people like Elon is the reason we're not back there now. We've lost interest. They privatize it. They don't spend the amount, even though they spend an insane amount of money. There's nowhere near the percentage of GDP they were spending at the time of the space race. It's not even fucking close. It's like less than 1 percentage point of by comparison of what we were spending to get to the moon at the time. And that's just the way things go in general. What we pay for is what we get. If we spent that money on fucking clean energy, there'd be no need for any other kind of energy. But we don't. We spend it on fucking coal and oil, so we're stuck where we are.
Or they
Oh,
spent that money, didn't make it, realized how much it would cost for them to actually get to the moon, so they would never really fund it like that ever again.
We have to be like 6 hours over time. Like we're just
or NASA's just used to launder money for the government. One of those two things.
oh my God. Yeah, that is not, I mean, that's what they did. They moved it to the defense. They moved it to the Defense Department, the giant fucking billionaire slush fund. That's what it is now, and that's why we go nowhere. But in the 1960s, it was basically uh, a state-run organization, worked very efficiently, hired the best people, and they did it.
It's
All
And
a
right,
great.
well,
that's my
I got
story.
two cardboard boxes and my zero turn lawnmower. Let's go to the fucking
Mhm. We have the best team.
moon.
We made it.
All the best people.
All
Oh,
the
this
best
one is
people.
fun.
You know what? I'm gonna get me the best team of engineers. We're gonna come up with numbers that have never been seen before.
Right.
Uh, completely new numbers. Three, 11,
Yep, beloved.
and we're gonna get to the moon.
And I'll
Hmm.
call you with a great reception.
Yes.
Listen, just don't call me on a Starlink satellite. It might fall out of the sky. All right. We're definitely over time.
It's been worth it.
Oh my
This
God.
one needed to be said.
Yeah.
It did not. It didn't. It's been said so many fucking times.
And people
It's
still don't believe it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
yeah, crazy is what I was thinking as well. All right.
Doesn't Buzz Aldrin have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame or something? Or Neil Armstrong? One of them does.
I don't know.
That's all I'm saying. It's weird because they wouldn't really. That's not really them,
Yeah, and everyone
unless,
gets the third one.
unless,
Who's the third one?
unless.
Wasn't there a third team member? No one knows.
Oh my God. And scene. That's enough. Okay. It's enough.
All right, all right.
I've had my fucking fill of bullshit about the fucking moon landing for one
You know, I
goddamn
haven't
day.
been Buzz Lightyears. Buzz Aldrin.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for
Oh
watching.
man.
Like and subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. Push us out into the algorithm. Which I'm sure the all this talk of lizard people will probably help. Oh my God. Anyway, You can also check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Thanks for being here. Thanks for making the Derealization Nation a real thing. Like the moon landing, a very real thing that happened. We appreciate that. Check us out, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Until next time, I'm John.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Brad.
And that's what's left. God, what's this gonna?
Actually, in an effort to not lose to Ohio State again, James Franklin went as far as getting fired from Penn State this weekend.